Um, First of all, Happy New Year to all of you. And then also, I represent the Sangha member here and really welcome you come to join a monastery to celebrate a very important day for the first day of the year in this beautiful monastery and peaceful monastery. And thank you for coming first. There were many times actually, so I became a monk 27 years ago when I was 21 years old. And then people think I look very handsome. And they always ask me the question that, don't you have girlfriend? Don't you want to get married? So even actually recently I went to China even, and then the lots of people saw me and say, are you sure you don't want to have an offspring? So you look very smart. And then you should have children. So then carry the good gene. And every time I give them a very different answer, I have to say that why I become a monk, okay? And sometimes I say, because I have a high hope about life. Sometimes I say because I have a very good experience about meditation, so I want to do furthermore meditation. Sometimes I say, no, I just don't know why, but I just thought there was a calling for me. There's a mission. But actually, I knew there's something in my mind. I'm still searching. That is what I call the harmony. And I have to be honest, I didn't know what I'm going to talk when I come here. Yesterday I tried to read something, and here and there, and try to figure out something I could give a talk. But when I came into the room here today, and I look at the side, there's an inner peace and a world peace, and it looks like I have a little answer to myself. One of the actually is a crucial and important reason why I decided to become a monk in the earlier time. You see, just say about a little background. The reason why I just thought I need to be a monk in those days was because I was working, I finished my education, and then also that my father was the politician also in the opposition party, and I was helping my father. And I saw a lot of conflict, a lot of jealousy, and a lot of problem around that kind of group, because even though people have passion and then wanted to have the righteous and talk about, we really need to have a right government, in our state. But then I could still see the people fighting each other, even within the same group, within the same idea, within the same passion, within the same ideology. So actually there was one of the big reasons why I thought this is not for me, and I left. So I went to Sri Lanka. When I was in Sri Lanka, I've been staying in several temples too, including some meditation center. And I was actually sometimes thinking about myself, why I want to leave that place and go to some other place. And then again, why I want to leave the place and go to some other place. So forget about whether I'm a bad person or a good person, a bad person. I want to find the answer why I want to leave. And then I somehow knew that if at the place that if I go, if I stay, if I don't find the harmony there, if I find there was a conflict, there were fighting, people don't know how to respect to each other, and then I just feel uneasy. So that was the reason why I become like a migrant bird. I lived in Sri Lanka for many years, and then I moved to France, and then from there I also migrated to Taiwan, and then from Taiwan, then I was certainly sometimes went to study. But the same thing actually something made me very uneasy, is that if there was something, if I find there was no harmony within the surrounding, I start to feel uneasy and uneasy. Okay, give you some hope. Why I come to America? Because I believe, I have to say I didn't like American in the very beginning, But then I came to America and I find, wow, America is a place, everybody can be free to talk whatever they like to talk. It's almost like there's no such a thing called a culture, something you cannot talk about. You can just talk about it. Of course, you are not going to force people to believe you, but you can just address it and talk about it, and then put up your ideas. And that's the reason I remember once I talked to one professor called Professor Dan, and then the Professor Dan one day asked me, Dhammadeva, what do you want in your life? I said, I don't want to say I want Nibbana, right? This is really too high, and I think I don't want to address that. Even into my, yes, I need Nibbana. But I don't want to say that. I say, I don't know. I just, I asked the professor then, I say, what do you think I should leave? Because I don't know, because I don't find myself, don't fit in any places. So then he say, then Americans shoot you. Then I asked him, why do you think the Americans shoot me? He goes, look at our American people. We all come from different countries. We all come different ideologies. We all come from different, basically come from different backgrounds, different walks of life, different religions. And then we stay together, we form a nice country. So let me say, that was really, really actually shocked me. And that's how I realized that, okay, maybe this is a place, because this is what we call the American dream. So we have this so-called liberty of the freedom. And then also, certainly, we also have the free speech. And then, and definitely, it's if you want to work hard, you definitely will get what you want. I don't know what is true, but anyway, that is certainly still in my mind, right? And now, the problem becomes also, then of course, then I stay in America now almost 9 years now, almost 10 years also. And now time flies, I'm getting very old now. And then I will start to find, I still find a lot of uneasy, because the uneasy come from, and I need to say a few things. One is uneasy come from within myself, that I still carry on searching a place that it can give me a li, almost like the word called li, right? Like a refuge. I know that in Buddhism we take the refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. I understand that. But sometimes what I hear, what I see, what I touch, what I want, and then that also sometimes when the harmony been broken down, I feel very uneasy. Of course, that's including when the country is no matter which country, when that people are suffering, when the people having the disharmony life, I feel very uneasy. That actually makes me really think about what I should do, what can I do. I'm here not to suggest what you should do, what you can do, but I can only tell you, and I only very recently I realized that I try to reason the thing, it's very hard for me, and I try to even sometimes force myself to see the positive side of the thing. It's very hard for me too, sometimes. Then slowly I make myself to accept that that's one way that I think, I don't know whether it's true, but at least it does comfort me in some way, that I need to learn how should I have the very inner peace. In other words, I should learn how to love myself. I'm not just only going to look at another person sometimes, that look at myself, what I really cherish the most in my life, what I think is the most valuable thing in my life, and what really make me the most peaceful time. So that is one thing. And the second thing, that certainly is not enough, because if I always just think that what is my and how I don't think it works all the time too. Because why? Because I don't live in the forest. I live in the people that all the time I contact the people. I walk in the Manhattan, you see a lot of people walking around. People come to ask you questions. People give you a very ugly face too, because I look like a monk. But some people look at me like a saint, like a god, very happy. So people give you different kind of faces. I met different type of people. So I also must learn how to not just to think about myself, but how I can cope with this, what I call the world, with the people around. And I find that, I need to be really always, there's a term in Pali, basically mean I always wish them not to despise others. Because sometimes I do, because when the people, make an ugly face to me, I feel anger. And I want to make an ugly face back, right? And, people, if they raise a finger, to be true, I once raised a finger too. That was long ago. Once I was very angry, I was really hurried, and then somebody raised a finger to me. I raised back the finger. We almost have a fight. Okay. But what I want to say is that the thing it made me understand, actually, I need to understand everybody loves themselves too. And from that onward, more or less, I would say, I won't say I was all the time successful, but more or less, I just wish them not to be despise each other, not to deceive other, and not to, not to have antagonists all to the other. That is what certainly in Buddhism call the loving kindness, the love. So I just wish them to be there. And that is one of the beautiful ways that resolve, or I would say to collect my faith or collect my confidence. And I have to say my faith, because it collects my faith to understand one of the important messages in Buddhism that we can always love ourselves and love everyone. I think that if anyone, at least that's what I think, if I don't learn how to really know what I want to do and love myself, I cannot love the other. So at the same time, by loving the other, it makes myself become smaller and smaller, and that's what I wish. And for the New Year resolution, I never make it. Thank you for Nakagaki. Remind me I need to make resolution. I never make a resolution for New Year, so that I wish that if I can develop greater and bigger of this compassion and this love to others, and then I hope myself can become smaller to even like a movie of Lucy and anywhere and everywhere. Thank you so much, for your time.
非常的有天分，他精通很多国的语言呢。那么今天他因为时间的关系，所以他用英文讲。那么我很简短的把它截取一下哈，希望没有出错。那么今天的主要的呢，就是他说到这个今天来之前也没有说想到特定要讲的内容，但是看到我们墙上挂了个两行字啊，就是内心的和平，或是内心的平静，跟世界的和平，啊，那么他也听到很多在座的这个宗教人士讲的话，也引发了他一些要讲的内容。那么基本上他也说，在新年面对新的一年的时候，我们每一个人都有一个新的一个愿望，希望要达成。那么今天他也讲了一下，啊，当然他讲了很多他过去的事情，他为什么被出家，那么他到了很多的地方，啊，不同的地方有不同的环境，那么他是怎么样做的抉择。那么最后呢，他说他发现了2点啊，希望能够对他自己也能够有所警觉的。第一个呢，就他认为他要达到内心的一个平和，那么他也愿意从自身做起，他愿意所谓你要能够爱惜自己，能爱惜自己才能够缩小自己，那么爱惜自己以后呢，也能够扩充出去来爱惜，来珍惜，来爱护你周遭，跟甚至于到达世界，这个是一个蛮大的一个愿啊。另外一个他说，他提到我们是生活在人群当中，那么有很多人可能跟你对你的看法跟你自己看法不一样，所以他也练习的要跟人群能够契合，能够平和的相处啊，这些也是一个非常大的一件事情要能够做到啊。平常我们生活在日常生活里面，就是面对很多不同的人。好，那我是简短的把这个大概截取几部分了啊，方丈所讲的话啊，希望没有记错啊。好，谢谢。